Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, Alex is saying hi as well.
Shh.
Welcome back to Our Wild Beautiful Life. Gosh, what episode are we up to?
Doesn't matter.
We've done a few.
Episode numbers don't count.
Episode numbers don't count? Okay.
I don't know. We're not keeping track by episodes. So it's fine. But we didn't work out what we were going to talk about. Well, we sort of talked a little bit about it, but we didn't have a set plan for tonight.
Because it's not my podcast. It's our podcast.
It's 100% your podcast.
You definitely need to.
You've done about 97,000% of the talking, I believe, so far.
Yeah, well, I have had a rather large weekend, so, maybe you should take the lead this week, baby.
I tried to last week. If you remember, you said, my throat's a bit sore, I'm not going to talk. And then proceeded to not talk. Just continued to talk.
We do know what we've got coming up. And that is we're going to be interviewing each of our children. And that's going to be fun. So we thought they said...
Zaya wanted to be in this week's, but timing didn't work out, so he had to wait. So you will all have to wait until next week when we'll have a chance to interview him.
Yeah, okay. We'll make that happen.
Yeah.
We'll make that happen. If you have any questions for it... Oh. Our other dog's trying to get down off the
I don't even think she's going to be in the frame.
And if you hear a click, there you go. That's her.
Fair enough.
We currently have another one of our children standing on the stairs. Do you need something?
What?
I need to move the stuff.
He needs to. You can move it. That's fine.
Where?
He wants to go into the office.
Right, and then pack it up again tonight.
Yeah, that's fine. He wants to go into the office.
You're about to be interrupted. For those of you that are not... So those of you that are on YouTube, you're about to be interrupted. For those on Spotify...
Oh, no, he'll go behind.
We'll see.
You may see. They come through this way, we'll see.
We'll see.
But yes, sorry. Welcome to our lounge room yet again. We feel like this is probably going to be the space that we do things, but we told you it was going to be real life and unedited and raw.
And we've just been running out of time to get back to the much nicer looking space.
But, like I said, this is it. This is
real life.
This is real life. This is where we are. We did speak last week, and I've had a lot of good feedback on last week's episode on the topic of teenagers and raising boys, just touching the surface of what that looks like.
Touching? Scratching?
Scratching the surface?
I don't know.
Scratching the surface. If you hear a bang or a noise, that's currently our teenager walking behind the camera. Ever so quietly. Oh!
Yeah, how are you going to do that with your hands full?
That is our 15-year-old who is going to use...
He'll be interviewed at some point.
Office. He will be interviewed at some point. But you could take your beautiful Cleo in with you, darling. Anyway, hi, guys.
That was a long introduction.
It was. I feel like maybe part of this may be edited to just cut a bit out. No, we can't.
We'll have to figure it out.
It doesn't work that way. Okay, sorry to those on Spotify, who have just spent the last few minutes listening to
us ramble.
Chaos.
Isn't that what it's meant to be? Just chaos. That is what life is. Just
conversation.
Chaos.
Beautiful chaos. We're slightly out of the beautiful chaos, but I feel like
we only have 25% beautiful chaos now.
Yes, that's right, because we
I don't know what he's doing.
I wish we had a behind the scenes video right now of currently what's going on behind that camera. It's looking straight at us.
Actually, I saw this thing.
Watch the door frame. Go down. Down further. Duck. Keep going.
Trying to not run into the door frame with the chair on his head.
He has one of those chairs, like it's a swivel chair with like the wheels on the bottom, and he had it upside down. Can you come get your dog, please? You're gonna have to come into frame. Sorry.
Or just duck down.
Just you look fantastic. Wave at the camera. Show Cleo. Hi guys. Thank you, bub. Alex is jealous.
On my podcast this week, they were talking about.
Oh, she's gonna get out.
They were talking about like empaths, which we've talked about.
Really?
But,
okay.
yeah, but they get people to write in and talk about their like
Thank you, Gabe.
people that are empaths, and they're like, whenever I go somewhere on like a visit, when everyone's taking a picture of whatever it is, right? I try and turn around and take a photo of the other way, so it doesn't feel left out. And they were joking about, look, and here's a picture of the car park next to the Taj Mahal. Like it's just like directly across. It's just like, that's what we need. We need a camera shooting back this way that shows the lights and the cameras and the...
Do the lights have to be that bright? Can you get warm lights like that?
Yeah, but it doesn't work with the lights and camera. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm not a videographer. We need someone that knows all of those things.
Keeps trying to
Get it. She's escaped.
The dog keeps trying to escape. Thanks, babe.
Sorry for those that are on Spotify. They're just listening to weird rambles and not have any idea what's going on. But
our child keeps coming back into the room, which means our dog keeps escaping from where she is currently because otherwise you'd be hearing these ting, 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 ting. Anyway, okay, we're 5 minutes in and we're already 5 minutes in.
Awesome.
What are we sharing on today, babe? What do you feel led to share on today?
Just sometimes you just feel like giving up.
Wow. Yeah. Want to elaborate?
I don't know. Maybe. I think one thing that sort of stands out to me, and like tonight we've just come from Zaya's volleyball, which
there's a reason we were all there.
Which I find very difficult because I know it's beginner sport. I fully get that.
We're going there.
I fully get that it's beginner sport, but I can't be the only one that has a super frustrated, like total annoyance at the fact of like just the simple things like the ball comes towards you, so you move to get it, or if you miss it and it bounces off, you don't just stand there looking at it. You go get it and then you bring it back again. Or
he's not the calmest sidelined parent.
It just
He's
really
done it
riles
in every
me up.
sport.
I'm like,
every sport the boys have done.
And it's not usually at our kids, but like Zaya's there and he's there with, I don't know, 20-something other people that are playing volleyball, all separated into teams. And honestly, it's just like, all I want to do is like, hit the ball. Don't hit the ball. Why did you run? Why didn't you run? Like, go for it. Why did you just watch it? It's not going to bring itself back. And just like, oh my gosh, like, anyway, this is why I'm not a coach. And then, look, the coaches do a great job, I'm sure.
They are really awesome.
They do.
Coaches.
The downside is that
there's just a lot of teenagers and preteens and teenagers in that room.
And I don't know how many of them want to be in the room. Like, anyway, sorry, bit of a ramble, but...
No, but that's what we're here for. I'm like, you said you started that conversation with, sometimes you feel like giving up. And we were elaborating on that. So obviously that frustrated you. Does something like that, does it trigger you into old patterns and old ways of things?
Yes. Because I just don't want to do any of it. I don't want to argue and I don't want to fight and I don't want to have all the things that we've actually spent probably the better part of this week talking on about having routines and what are we doing in the particular way of homeschooling and how are we going to run the house and how are we going to build our businesses and how are we going to do all the things. And especially when there are times where we don't see eye to eye on things.
Yeah.
And it's not just because I'm taller. We're nearly eye to eye here, which is good.
We're nearly eye to eye here.
There's a big kid over there laughing in the
Our
background.
man-child just walked in and he's laughing at his dad's joke. You can come poke your head in and say hi if you like. Why is my put like that?
Yeah, people on Spotify aren't going to hear this, but...
No,
because the microphones are over here.
YouTube.
What? They're definitely not going to hear when you just wave silently.
That would be our man-child. He's currently 19.
He's meant to be upstairs.
He's currently 19 and he's going to be 20 in quite a few months, but you know.
Oh no, he said, what did he say in the car today? I'm 20.
Not
I'm
yet.
like, you know what it is? I'm almost 2. You just turned 1, like yesterday. Like,
No, this
I'm
is
almost
me.
2.
This is me. My mum will vouch for this. My parents will vouch for this. I would literally have my birthday and the next day would be saying, I'm almost the next birthday.
Yeah.
My birthday just became a day because I was like always wanting to talk about it and celebrate it. Are you literally eating peas straight from the...
Just let it go.
Oh, no, you need to come here.
No,
Sorry,
it's just-
Spotify people, but this is my life. If you haven't got teenagers yet, look what happens.
You're not in the thing.
He's not currently in the frame.
Am I not?
No,
No.
you have to be here.
Yeah,
You're making me zoom like on...
this is my man.
Two.
That
This
will
is
be
our
zoomed
man-child.
and you won't be.
This is our Drake. He's the one you heard the birth story about.
Hey.
Apparently he's only listened to like a few minutes of our first ever podcast and that's it.
And I already criticised you about it.
Yeah, he has. He says our audio sucked. Like, yeah, it does.
Dude.
But he's literally just eating peas. But you cooked dinner tonight, didn't you?
I did. I cooked steak, mashed potatoes, and peas.
Peas, and you cut up carrot. And
No, I
also,
didn't. Cucumber.
that's right, cucumber. But this is what we were talking about, right? We were talking about time, like what this week looked like. And yeah, you need to go to your brother's, by the way. Thanks for introducing yourself.
You literally have 90 seconds, Isaiah.
So, do you want to come give me a cuddle and kiss? Good night, my darling. You want to say hi? Quick, say hi. Hi. Oh, what, does Dad not get one? Oh. Nearly ran into the camera. Love you. Good night. So yeah, you were talking about how. Well, that's like if we run it back to. I had a full blown meltdown. I've had a few of them over the last few weeks. About feeling like I couldn't do it all. I didn't have the capacity to do it all, and that was challenging. Like I've been in this space before, and I feel like it's. You know, we'll talk on it another time, but it's like cycles. That thing, like we just keep going in the same, like how do you get off that merry-go-round of like behavioural cycles, whatever they're called. So I had a meltdown because I'm like, how do I manage it all? How do I do things like we homeschool. What else do I do? Oh my gosh, what else do I do? I'm a mum. I'm a wife. I homeschool. I'm a friend. I'm a business owner. I'm in ministry. Anything else I've missed?
Probably.
Did I say I'm a friend?
Yes.
All those kind of things. So I just was in this cycle of feeling like I was failing at all and that I didn't have the capacity to carry it all. And so Baron, being the incredible person that he is, what does he do for other people? What do you do for other people? Help sort out their life? So he's helping to sort out my life, which essentially is our life.
She's my worst client yet.
I am.
She won't listen.
I pay really good though.
Mm.
I love that smile. I like making that smile happen.
I think the
You're
biggest...
normally the one that throws them out there.
I know.
Okay.
But I think it just... I think the thing that stands out is that we're all... Our days are made up by the good and the bad habits that we form.
Yeah.
Unless we're actively working on reducing the bad habits
And I have some pretty bad habits.
and actively working on setting up and embedding really good habits, then whether Einstein actually said it or not, I don't know. He gets quoted as saying it. But insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Yeah.
And when it comes to life for anyone, right, if your weeks are made up of days that are essentially, I do this and I do that, and then I do this and then I do that, and at the end of the day, we stop, we reset, and we do the whole thing over again. Well, of course it's going to be the exact same. And as hard as it is, we've had this conversation. If you keep getting to that point where you have a little meltdown and you go, I can't seem to do it all, that's because you won't listen to the advice of those that are surrounding you, myself and many others, where you take on too much stuff sometimes, and some things may not need to be for us at the moment. And then when it comes to actually setting it out, it's great to have freedom, but with freedom comes complacency, and with complacency comes frustration because we're not getting anything done.
No. And it's like it's like that whole cycle of where I struggle with is I want the spontaneity and freedom, but then I feel so out of whack, and then I need routine, but then I put in routine and then I go, oh no, wait, I'm too boxed in and I'm too restricted. I need like spontaneity again. So it's like...
It is like whiplash. It is frustrating to the nth degree, that part.
If you're listening to this and you were also at our women's event this weekend and heard me say how obsessed my husband is with me, that doesn't mean that there is not things that frustrate the living daylights out of him about me.
I know. The most frustrating is that, like, I still love you. Can't walk away because I love you so much. You just piss me off.
I do, and I'm sorry.
Anyway. But sometimes I just want to pack it all in. I've had enough.
It's a very real feeling.
And we've talked a little bit about this, but it probably needs to be talked about at some point. Is that, and you'll have to help me with the language here because we've talked about it a few times, in the fact that we are not, like, words are powerful.
Yeah.
Words are really powerful, and probably took me a little bit longer than expected to realise that. And I never meant for it to do any harm, whether it did or didn't. I really hope that it hasn't, and I don't mean to do any more harm in this way, shape or form, but we had kind of this joke when we started having kids, which I thought was a joke. And it was this idea that when we got together, or when we started having kids, I wanted 1 and you wanted 4. And so we compromised and we had 4. which does hold some truth in it. I did want one child. And that's probably because I struggled with, I guess, my relationship with my sister, which has taken 20, like, I've seen photos and Mum and Dad said we were close when we were little kids, but from the time...
Probably when you were a teenager.
Well, yeah, probably before that, but from pre-teen through to, I don't know, probably only 5 years ago or so.
Oh, it's probably been more so, yeah, since probably Benji.
How old's Benji? He's in
8.
8. I probably started coming okay in the last sort of 8 years, give or take, but it's probably
Actually,
only been
that's
in the
probably,
last
yeah.
5-ish years or so.
Yeah.
That is sort of...
We have, like, the relationship is so much better now.
Yeah, heaps better now.
Yeah.
And my...
And she's actually really awesome.
Yeah. But we struggled.
So good with our boys.
We struggled there for a very, very long time.
Yeah. But also, that was a lot to do with your depression stuff as well.
Well, yeah, and we'll
get into that.
We'll get into that later. I don't think that's for this episode at all. I don't know time for that one, but I just think like there was definitely some truth in that. That I wanted one.
Yeah.
And then my motorbike. This is paraphrasing a longer story.
When I tell you we have a lot, there's a lot.
But after the motorbike accident, like we talk about the fact that I came back and said something along the lines of life's too short, we'll have all the babies that you want and all sorts of stuff.
Because you never wanted Drake to be by himself if something happened to us.
Yeah, I don't remember that section. Well, I don't remember any of it. I'm just
He has brain injury, guys. He has memory loss.
So
major.
So I remember we had Gabe's. And then I remember and Gabe's is born almost to the day 1 year after the accident.
He was due on the anniversary of your accident.
She didn't leave me alone. I still had broken ribs and everything. She was all over me. Far out.
He loved it.
And then we had Zeke, and I didn't realise, but we had such a hard time falling pregnant with Zeke. I don't remember that at all. Well, no, that's not to say much, but that's a whole other conversation we'll come back to.
But it was around, Gabriel was around 6 months old, and you had said to me, if we're having more, I want them close together. And you wanted to start trying when Gabriel was 1.
Oh, there you go. And they're...
Or just before Gabriel was 1.
What are they? 2.5 years apart.
They're 2.5 years apart with a miscarriage in the middle.
Yeah, and we'll come back to that story. I'm not trying to gloss over it, but for time-wise.
And then Zaya
but
was very quick after.
I really, really remember. This one I actually do remember because this is how much it stands out. I remember we've got a very good friend, Danny. He's just amazing. He's just awesome. I remember sitting with him at the pub somewhere. And I just really remember having the conversation and just going, I just don't want to go again. I was just struggling at that stage. And I just know that. And so I know this is hard, and we've talked about before that I probably am.
We've had a lot of healing in this space.
Yeah. And I am probably closest with the middle two, which were kind of the actively thought through pregnancies. Actively trying. Yeah. Oh, we were actively trying for all of them. I remember that. But you know what I mean? Like, and so I don't mean to this is nothing against Drake or Zaya or anything like that, but it's just, I just know that it's just hard sometimes. And sometimes it's just, in all honesty, just feel like it's just too much. I'm done. What did I say at the start? I just want to pack up. What did I say?
Just want to give up.
Just want to give up. And that's how sometimes I feel. Like, and it's so good to be able to have you to be able to, now that we communicate a lot more, when we always spoke and we always hung out and we always did everything, but to be clear, we really didn't have very good communication about, I guess, the active planning of and maintenance of our relationship and our life.
You just never wanted to make me mad.
Yeah.
Because you were scared I would walk.
Yeah. And so that has actually in turn become a really bad thing because it's got us into a bit of hot water a couple of times. And so there's the good and the bad that comes with those decisions, and obviously wanting to make you happy and do all those type of things. But when certain parts of our life are left to me to manage and look after, and then I just try and make you happy all the time, then
it's not healthy.
That's not a healthy way to run a life. And then because of, and I guess this is where another frustration comes from, because I don't remember a lot of the harder years. And the bits that I remember going out of my way over and over and over again to try and change jobs and change working times and change.
Especially when it was Zeke.
Yeah, like just going out of my way to make sure, and
you sacrificed a lot.
Yeah. And then sometimes to go, you've said this before and it has hurt, and like it's fine now, like we're okay, but you've said stuff like you weren't there, I had to do everything all by myself, and I'm like, but I was doing everything I could just to make sure that first of all you didn't have to go back to work, or that we had a house and a roof over our head. And so I don't know, like,
because we were viewing things so differently on what it meant to, like the comment that you, like the wording you use with you're not about, like, you're not there, you're not.
Yeah.
And like, I think this is the part where our communication was so, like, on totally different pages, because I remember, like, when you say it now, where you were with how your side was, and then I'm on the other side going, I just think, before I understood where you were at emotionally and mentally. And so I'm perceiving it in a way, and this is where it's so important that we've talked about before, that we have to be super careful of how we perceive or judge someone else with their responses and what they're doing, because we never know the battles that they're fighting. And so I obviously wasn't aware until it all came to light, your mental health stuff. So I perceived it in a way of you just not caring and you just not wanting to be, like, that's where I, like, when I make comments like that, that's where I was coming from that place of going, well, you're not present here, you're not helping, you're not whatever. You're not there when I need you.
To be clear, like, all of this, we together didn't really realise that it was what year was that? 2018?
It was before COVID. Yeah, it was 2018 because, no, wait.
Yeah.
Yes, because in 2019 is when you had your
shoulder.
Yeah, and you'd already.
So we got together in 2004.
Yeah.
We were married in 2005.
Yeah.
No, Drake was born in 2005. We got married in 2006. And so there's 12 years, there's 14 years there.
Yeah. Where
out of 20 years or so of a mental health journey that has had various levels of.
Yeah, we didn't, like, I had no idea that you were just literally you were just trying to barely stay alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you didn't really know that either.
Well, I just didn't realise that, like, people just didn't try to kill themselves every day or didn't want to.
Yeah.
And it's hard, like, now, because I can't remember what... there's bits and pieces at the back, but it's so hard to remember what life was like or, like, how things were. And so especially when in those early days, like, I right now find it really difficult to compare this year to last year.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of knew where we lived and I knew kind of what was going on, and there's bits that sort of stand out, and I get it. Like, there's probably people listening, and this really hurts, but like, there's so many people that I speak to, and I just go, I struggle to remember this, and they're like, oh well, I struggle to remember stuff, and I don't have a brain injury, and so maybe I've got it and all this. I'm like, I get it, but I spend a fair bit of time trying to remember all the stuff I need to, don't I? Like calendars and alarms and...
You write everything down.
Anyway, I think I deserve a cookie. That was a bit low. I need a cookie.
Oh, he knows you're sad. Guys, this is Alex. You probably saw him in the other one. He knows you're not happy. He knows you're sad. You want to lay down? Mate, you need to lay down. Your tail is like whipping. He's like, Daddy, you okay? For those on Spotify, our ginormous horse of a dog has sensed in Baron that he's not okay and has come over to check if he's okay, because if we're all honest, he's obsessed with Baron. Baron is alpha. And he knows Daddy's feeling a little bit down.
He needs a wash.
He does need a wash.
I need a wash, don't you?
I love you, Daddy.
Don't lick me.
Can you lay down?
Sit.
Can you lay down? Oh, wow. We don't know what that's... What did he just hit?
Sit the receiver.
Oh.
Just sit. Sit. Sit.
Come on, Baba. Lay down.
Lay down. Lay down.
I love you, Dad.
Anyway, we probably need to wrap it up there. So how do we finish this?
I think...
Maybe we use this as a precursor to maybe next week.
Oh, you're going to share your story?
Maybe we can share some of the story.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks. We might need to think about how that works, because we don't want to just ramble, but at the same time it'll be
it's going to be a little bit of a longer...
tissues.
We need some tissues. It's going to be like just...
Might be a bit longer.
It'll actually be a longer one, guys, because we want to honour the story and the healing that's taken place. But you are an incredible human being.
Thanks.
Hey. You are an incredible human being. And your brain is incredible.
Thanks.
It's not broken.
It's a little bit broken.
But it's not broken enough that you don't do awesome things. You do awesome things all the time.
Thanks. My foot's broken.
And I'm super thankful for you. Can you just stop trying to go to human for 5 seconds? Okay?
Okay.
I'm really thankful for you.
Thanks.
Despite all that happened and all that goes on up there, you keep this family running. And you help people every single day have better lives.
Yeah.
And you have so much wisdom. God's not done with you yet. And I love you.
Thanks. I love you.
Are we allowed to kiss on camera?
I don't know. Don't look, guys. That's going to be loud in the mix.
Okay, well, yeah, this is what happens. We think we're going to do one thing and then God takes over and does another. So, I suppose we end with...
Like and subscribe. Pre-warning, Zaya is definitely going to do that when he does this.
He's so excited to be interviewed.
Oh, so next episode might not be mine.
We don't know. We'll see what happens. But we obviously we talk about certain topics on here, and some of them might be triggering. Some of them might have you think a little bit more about certain areas in your life, or it could bring up something that feels a little uncomfortable. We want you to know that you're not alone if you're feeling similar things. We are very, what's the right word?
Open?
We are very open, but we are very passionate, especially we're raising raising men. I'm married to a man, obviously. We're raising men. We're raising someone's husband, someone's father. And we are very passionate about men and their mental health and them being allowed the space to share vulnerably about where they're at without judgment. And I think it's really important. There's a really important space for that right now, for our men to feel supported and loved, to open up, because it can be really hard and it doesn't come naturally to a lot, but it's important that these conversations are had. So yeah, we're going to end it on that, I think.
Okay.
I love
you too. See you later, guys.
Bye, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. I do it just because I have to. It's just a habit now.
It's a bad habit and you got to cut it out. I don't need it at the end.
Do you remember cookies? Cookies and a snuggle and read our book.